Super Saturday in Middle Village, Queens for today's New York City matchup between the boys and girls Kangaroos and the Bishop Loughlin Lions. And a pleasant good evening, everybody. I'm John Perez. These two teams play in the toughest conferences in New York City in the PSAL and the Catholic League. But let's look at boys and girls first. They haven't shied away from tough competition. They finished their season last night against Bedford Academy and came up with the L. But they'll face another tough team in Bishop Loughlin, who also played less than 24 hours ago. A tough loss to Cardinal Hayes, but the Lions will use boys and girls to springboard their momentum into the final weeks of the Catholic League. With that said, let's meet our impact players. Gianni Ford is an offensive juggernaut and has unlimited range from downtown. He paces the Kangaroo offense by spacing out the floor, and that can be beneficial to Najee Scott and Nehemiah Boone. For Bishop Loughlin, it's Keith Williams. He's tough inside, he's tough outside, and just like Ford, he can space out the floors for knockdown shooters. It's Bed-Stuy, it's Fort Greene, it's the Kangaroos and the Lions, and it's all coming up next on MSG Varsity's Game Time. And welcome back here to Father John Savage Gymnasium on the campus of Christ the King Regional High School in Middle Village, Queens. I'm John Perez, our producer Tom Schnars, and our live caster, the magnificent Elio Velez, who always keeps you in the know with New York City basketball, football, whatever sport it is. There's boys and girls, their head coach Ruth Lovelace in her 22nd season as the head coach of boys and girls. She started as the gym teacher way back after graduating from Seton Hall, having a storied career, played for boys and girls. And now let's look at technically the home side. For Bishop Loughlin, Ed Gonzalez in his 7th season came over from All Hallows. He's guided his team to a 13-5 record, 9-3 in the Brooklyn Queens AA division. We're all set to go. Let's give you the starting lineups, and we'll stay with Bishop Loughlin while we have you on the screen. The two guards, Marquise Noel and Keith Williams, in the front court. Jeremy Betchel is the center up top, and the two forwards, Jordan Thomas and Edon Tritu. For boys and girls, they'll play with 3 guards, Jameer Cheek, Gianni Ford, and Nehemiah Boone. Najee Scott and Isaiah Ford are in the front court. Our officials, Ralph Perez, Steve McDade, and Ron Sapp, and we are underway. The ball will roll out of bounds. Second half set to begin here at Christ the King. Between Bishop Loughlin and boys and girls, we'll give you first half stats. Bishop Loughlin, they'll have the ball to begin the final half. Both teams shot 9 of 14 from the floor. That's 64%, but boys and girls knocked down all of their threes, 3 of 3. Gianni Ford was their leading scorer with 11. Noel, Bishop Loughlin's leading scorer off the mark. He had 6 points. Keith Williams had 2 fouls, and the two Fords were in foul trouble. Isaiah Ford with 3 in the first half, and Gianni Ford with 2 as Scott misses on the pull-up. Pass gets tipped. Boone. Now to Ford, hop step over Betchel, and he gets the roll. Now Noel bouncing it over, Williams. Boys and girls had an 11-point lead at one point in this game, and Williams can't knock down the jumper, but will get a foul on the floor. And that foul will go to Najee Scott. That'll be his first personal and the first of the final half. Noel floats it on up. And Noel. Thomas gets walled off. 2-3 zone for boys and girls. Williams over Ford with 3 fouls. No good. Betchel goes up. And that foul's going to go on Isaiah Ford, and he might have to sit for the remainder of the quarter. And probably some significant time into the 4th. That's his 4th foul. David Pettit-Home came to the table, but they couldn't get the sub off in time. Missing on the 3 is Trito. Thomas tries to tip in, second chance, and he gets it off the window. Thomas with 7. It's a 32-28 lead for the Kangaroos. Nehemiah Boone towards Ford. Back to Gianni Ford. Gets a screen from Isaiah Ford. And Isaiah Ford is fouled out. One minute and 40 seconds into the second half, and Boys and Girls is down one of its starters. Marquise Noel, the sophomore. Thomas tries to throw it towards Noel, and with the step in was Ford. But then takeaway. Cheek to Scott, finger roll. First bucket for Scott within the perimeter. He's got 8. And it's back to a 4-point lead for the Kangaroos, 34-30. Cheek and Trito. Now Boone and Noel. Boone near side of the paint, short. Cheek, second chance, no. Wanted a foul call, and Williams clears it up. Nashawn Kane taking on 2, and he loses that battle. Ford, the baseball pass to Scott. Good ball movement. Cheek behind the back, and nobody was there. He just got a little too cute on that pass. And that will send in Siddiqui Thomas. Mike Quick makes his basketball picks each Thursday at 2 p.m. on MSGvarsity.com. You can tune in every week to put a face on it, only on Optimum. 5-point lead for the Kangaroos. Trito swinging it on over Noel. Under 75 seconds to go, third quarter. Pass gets tipped, Noel on Thomas. Nice defense from Thomas, forcing Noel to pick up his dribble. Now Trito almost goes over the half-court mark. Under a minute to go, Noel, 8 to shoot. Noel, a lot of contact, kicks it out. Trito driving baseline, going up for the dunk, and he jumped a little too early. Now Ford, 15-second differential between the game and shot clock. Busting inside, yes, and the foul. Gianni Ford. Gianni Ford now with 17, looking for point number 18. And Jeremy Mitchell will come in to bolster the interior for Bishop Loughlin. Ford has spent countless hours in the gym perfecting his jumper with his trainer, Mel Alston. He said that the workout begins with him taking standing-only shots from the elbow. Then he moves around the court and makes jumpers from various spots. But the workout isn't over until he knocks down 700 shots. It's Williams. He got blocked by Boone. Ball skips loose. 20 seconds to go. Shot clock turned off. Ford. Ford now with 20. This is the 6th time this season that Ford has eclipsed the 20-point mark. 5 seconds to go. Noel thought about a step back. Trickles loose, 1 second to go. And that will end quarter number 3. The Kangaroos have a 10-point lead, 42-32. You're watching the Nike Apparel Challenge here on MSG Varsity, only on Optimum. Boys and Girls has not had the best of offensive sequences. They've turned the ball over a couple of times. They've committed a few offensive fouls, and Bishop Loughlin has stood in it without their starters. Keith Williams finally comes back in, but Noel has been out, Thomas has been out, Trito's been out, and that's just all a coach's decision, not really any foul trouble. 15 to shoot. Here's Dominguez trying to drop it off towards Kane. Williams scurries to pick it up, tries to feed it underneath. Dominguez retrieves it. Hurton with 5. Here's Williams. He's got to go long 3 straight away. Hits off the front iron. And the rebound, Boone. Both teams under their averages in points scored this year. Boys and Girls averaging 57 points a game. Loughlin with 59. Boone to Ford. Time is on the side of the Kangaroos. Ford stops, now kicks it out. Scott inside to Ford. Shot clock violation. Nobody looked at the clock. And now Bishop Loughlin will send in reinforcements. Marquise Noel and Jordan Thomas check back in. Bishop Loughlin, no stranger to playing PSAL teams tough pretty late into the fourth quarter. On December 26th against South Shore, they were down 7 in the final minute. Forced overtime and then eventually lost in overtime to South Shore. Ford and Noel. What a good battle this is. Handing it off to Boone. 35 seconds to go. Cheek hands it off Boone. 15 to shoot. It's Boone and Kane. Boone looking to drive inside, short but a foul. Jeremy Betchel was in there. He'll pick up the foul. It's only his second foul. But crucial free throws coming for Boone. Boone missed his first 2 free throws in the beginning of the game, and he banks in the first one. Boone is a 31% free throw shooter, and he only makes 50 of it, but huge offensive rebound by Cheek, and Nehemiah Boone calls timeout. And it's a 2-point lead for the Kangaroos. That'll be the final timeout taken by boys and girls. Cheek, Ford, Scott, Boone, as well as Pettit Home on the floor for boys and girls. Williams, Noel, Thomas, Kane, and Betchel for the Lions. Cheek to throw it into Ford in the corner. He gets trapped. He throws it off of Williams' foot. Now Williams throws it off his foot. And Gianni Ford scores to give the Kangaroos a 4-point lead. Bishop Loughlin has to go. 5 seconds to go. Noel to the line. He gets fouled on the floor with 3.6 to go. Crucial turnover by Keith Williams. They trapped Ford in the corner, got the steal, and Keith Williams was looking up the floor, but he didn't have the ball in his hands. So now let's see how Bishop Loughlin plays this. They send Betchel and Thomas in the backcourt. Do they miss on purpose? And Noel makes the first one. No timeouts left for boys and girls. Loughlin has 4. .6. Noel goes 2 of 2. Timeout, Bishop Loughlin. Full court press coming. Cheek looking to throw it in towards Ford. They almost get the steal, but now a foul. 2.7 left. Gianni Ford, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Now Ford. Ford misses the front end of the 1-and-1. And a timeout call by Bishop Loughlin with 1.8. It's a 2-point game with 1.8 seconds to go. The Kangaroos have a 47-45 lead. Now boys and girls will show the press. They'll have Jordan Griffin throw it. Griffin, long southpaw pass towards Williams at the horn. Good if it goes. Oh, he just missed it. And boys and girls survives. Keith Williams didn't have the prettiest of looks, but it almost went down. What a finale. Boys and girls escapes with a 47-45 victory.